my chat. I think we are live. Let's see. Could I put this over here? I don't want these glasses. Let's go. We're live. We are live. I always struggle with the first stream of the year. It's why I do it before the draft, but can't see the chat for some reason unless I look on. Yeah, I guess we're going to have to put this over here. And a little bit of that. Oh, but then I can't see that. Okay. Put that over here. No. Getting situated. First stream of the year. Got to do these more often. Oh, shit. All right, okay. That's going over there. All right, chat. I can see the chat. What's up, guys? We are gonna do a fan mock draft. A fan could pick a team of their choosing, draft for them. I posted it for our Twitter subscribers first, so they currently have the link, and they are picking the team that they want to draft for. We'll do 2 rounds. We could do another stream this weekend, and we'll be live streaming during day 1 of the NFL draft as well. But again, if you're just joining, Twitter subscribers got the link first. They're picking their team for this fan mock draft, so that room is filling up. The issue is, if you close the tab, then it boots you out of there, I guess. But let's hang out with the chat for a second while that fills up. Does it auto refresh once the draft starts? If you refresh the page yourself, it boots you. I probably should have attempted to use this first. I am not sure. This is the first time creating a room. Well, actually, we tried last week, but maybe just don't refresh the page. I don't know. We'll see what happens when we start it, but it's showing you have to. Someone said copy the link and paste it in Safari, and you won't have to worry about it kicking you out. See, I love Walk the Mock. If we use Walk the Mock, I just think you have to pay to have a membership to be able to join like a private lobby, so that not everyone here has a Walk the Mock membership. But I love the site. You know, if you're a huge fan of doing a bunch of mock drafts and joining different rooms, I mean, that's the best site to use. It's just a little tricky to get, our Twitter subscribers on there because they got to pay a, membership for Walk the Mock as well. Most underrated YouTuber of all time. I appreciate it. Cam Ward season. Niners, I've seen it for Niners. Let's see. Hot take, Raiders pass on Ashton Jeanty. Certainly possible. Any guesses on Ramsey's landing spot? It's a tricky one to predict right now because I believe teams are gonna wait to see if they get a specific corner, if they land a corner that they like in the draft. So it's really going to depend on who misses, or maybe someone will draft the guy and still trade for Ramsey. You have to have a certain amount of cap. I was tweeting about it a little bit. And a lot of people saying back to the Rams. I don't really see it, but yeah, it's a little tricky to predict right now. I already forgot which teams I decided. I tweeted. I think Cardinals were one of them. Some of those NFC West teams, Cardinals and Seahawks. It's just, a lot of people saying the Raiders, but does Jalen Ramsey really want to go play with the Raiders? heard the Falcons. The Falcons are an interesting one. If they could trade Kirk Cousins eventually after the draft, they would actually unload a decent amount of cap space. Like 25 million. So then that'd be fairly easy to afford Jalen Ramsey, Raheem Morris, Jalen Ramsey connection. We'll say the Falcons right now, so that's what I'll go with. Does Danny Provolone really like the Bears, or was that just a schlick? No, he loves the Bears. He's a season ticket holder, goes to every Bears home game. He's a huge Bears guy. Another, where's Jalen Ramsey going? I don't even think I put the Falcons in my original tweet, but I was thinking about that more. If they move on from Cousins, more cap space, Raheem Morris connection, because he coached them while he was in LA with the Rams. Even heard chatter about him maybe moving back to safety, like where it all started, but maybe he plays both for the Falcons. They could use a corner or safety, so definitely could see that. But yeah, who are the other teams? Let me see something real quick. Move that. Yeah, something's going on with this mock draft that we're trying to set up in the simulator. Well, I hope we figure it out. People are like joining and leaving the simulator for the mock draft. But where was I at? Yeah, Ramsey Falcons. That's what I was going to do. I was going to make sure this window is up. Where is it? This is the practice stream, basically. I want to do another one maybe this weekend, and we have one during the NFL draft. So got to make sure we are good to go. Where is... struggling. Oh, that's why. Okay, that's where that's at. Making sure. All right. Hopefully we can figure out the simulator. Let's see. If Miami doesn't make the playoffs, do they get rid of Tua? It's certainly possible. Probably not, though. There's a way to refresh to see what teams have been taken and everything without losing their spot. Yeah, there's an issue with the simulator right now. I guess we're going to have to do this a different way, maybe in our next stream. I can see the stream is pretty delayed. Do you think the Giants are really into Shedeur Sanders? I think they are, but not in terms of the third overall pick. I really think the Giants want, going into the draft, who they want more than anyone is Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders. They're probably not going to get Travis Hunter. They could end up with Shedeur. We'll see, though. It's kind of a mystery. It's, what the draft's all about. Tyreek trade. I don't think Tyreek Hill's getting traded. It doesn't sound like teams want him either, because the Dolphins came out, said we're not trading him, and we haven't got any calls on him. Teams are calling other teams constantly to see if star players are available, if they think they might be available. So the fact that nobody even called and asked is pretty telling, where he's at with the off the field issues. Not that it's, I'm not an expert with the off the field shit. Is it serious stuff? So I don't think teams are that interested in him, especially at his asking price. So I don't think a trade's going to happen, because the Dolphins aren't dying to trade him and no team's dying to trade for him. What's Calvin Banks' draft range? I heard the Bears are a strong possibility at 10, but if they don't take him, man, you can go to the Seahawks at, in the middle of the first. You could go to, I don't think he would get that much further after the Seahawks pick. They would move him to guard. If he starts to slip a little bit more, does a team like the Chiefs trade up to try to get him, to make sure they get him? Where's the link? I think there's issues with this Somebody is saying, well, it's for Twitter subscribers first. The Twitter subscribers are picking their teams, but there's an issue with the simulator, of course. Someone says they have theirs up in Safari and they're not having any issues. So would that be on your iPhone? But hopefully we get that solved. I thought about different ways we could do it, but maybe next time on that. But we'll still attempt it. Is Uncle Riz still part of the Saints coaching staff? No, he's with the Broncos staff now. With the Broncos staff. Isn't he a special teams coach there? Donovan Ezeraku or Carson Schwessinger to the Ravens. Yeah, I'm kind of starting to feel the Schwessinger buzz in the first round, and I could definitely see the Ravens pairing him with Roquan Smith. He says he models his game after Roquan Smith as well, so that's interesting little bonus there. How would I feel about Burden to the Broncos? I mean, it's the type of receiver that they need. It would not be a bad pick. I'm just not expecting it. It doesn't sound like they're going to take a receiver that early unless they made it seem that way. You know, Sean Payton tricks up his sleeve, and then they end up doing it. I totally could see it. What do you think is the best thing my Falcons could do in round one? Move up, move down, stay put, and who would be the best fit for the Falcons? For the move up, I'm not a huge fan of moving up. I only move up if it's a sure thing, top tier, can't miss, or if your team is like 1 or 2 needs away from a serious contender. So I haven't really been a trade up, I should say, guy, unless you're in those situations. The Falcons are a little limited on picks. They didn't have a big free agency, so I definitely wouldn't trade up. Always for trading down to get more picks, unless there's a can't pass on guy there. It's not a common take, but I like Shamar Stewart for them. I'm going to be higher on Shamar Stewart than most. I'm banking on those traits, but he has the flashes, on tape as well. He's just got to finish plays better, but it's what coaching's all about. It's what, getting these guys in the NFL is all about. You can work with them and make them better. So I'm going to trust that. I think that's a great fit for their defense. I don't even think he's going to be there though. So it really depends on who's there, but I know it seems to be a common player fans dislike or don't want me to mock their team is Shamar Stewart just because of the lack of production. I understand that. But I think he's got a lot of upside. I think he can get going a lot. It reminds me of Chop Robinson from last year. It's not really a comparable player because Shamar Stewart has more size. He has more of the physical traits, but they're both explosive athletes. They both had underwhelming production in college, but if you work with them, they had high upside, and Chop Robinson was already better than expected. So he was my number 2 pass rusher as well as Stewart is this year. So it kind of reminds me of that. What is going on with this simulator? It will only kick you if you are still on Twitter or if you refresh the page on accident. So we're getting some tips from Jeffy in there. So while we're waiting for that, I guess I could post a link on here too, and we can try it again with our Twitter subscribers in a different stream, but mine is fine on iPhone. Okay. Who do you think the Panthers would draft if Jalen Walker is not available? I mean, there's no guarantee they're even going to go Walker. Walker's a tricky one, too. I think that's a little early for him, even though he's a game-changing player, I really think teams are going to be higher on Shamar Stewart. We were just talking about him. I think he could go in that range. Stewart, Mykel Williams, these are guys that because of their traits, they're going to go a little earlier, I believe, than people think. So maybe one of those guys. I wouldn't rule out Jahdae Barron for the Panthers, even though you don't see that. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Cal defensive coordinator. Yeah, so the Saints could be looking at some of those Cal defensive players. I love their secondary. I love Noah Williams. I love Craig Woodson. These are underrated players that could be I think Noah Williams would definitely be a day 2 pick. Biggest need for the Cowboys, receiver or running back? It's receiver. They added 2 running backs. They're not the greatest in the world, but they can find a really solid running back a little later than round 1, even later than day 2. Receiver, if you're taking them that late, you're just shot in the dark, might not make an impact right away. CeeDee Lamb definitely needs some more help, which helps Dak as well. So it's got to be a receiver. I need your thoughts on Ole Miss linebacker Chris Paul Jr. I think he'll end up being a top 40 player in this draft when it's all said and done. Yeah, it's a little tricky because on tape he looks like one of the better linebackers in the class. He's a middle linebacker that, stops the run, makes correct reads. He's pretty solid in coverage. He's pretty athletic, pretty explosive, instinctive. He checks a lot of boxes, but he's definitely undersized. So you do worry about him trying to make tackles, get through blocks. I could see him struggling a little bit in that, shedding blocks, not getting driven back by blockers and ball carriers. So that's the tricky part. Linebackers are really tough because even in the NFL, like there's a all-pro linebacker, a Pro Bowl linebacker, and then they get a different coach or they switch schemes, and they're just nowhere near the same player. So it's the same thing with these linebackers in college. Then you have a little bit of an undersized guy, but he's very good. I think he'll probably go in round 4, could go round 3. But if him being undersized doesn't affect him, he's going to be really good. That's really what it comes down to. Which team do you think Harold Fannin could go to that best utilize? Where did it go? His skills and assets. Eagles. Eagles are probably the answer for a lot of teams. His head coach is now the quarterback coach. Not that means much. It's not like he's the tight end coach, but the Bowling Green coach is now the quarterback coach for the Eagles. So that's pretty interesting. So a team like that, but man, could be the Bears. Ben Johnson probably used him. I don't know if they would be interested in him though. So it's tough to say because he had such a unique role. A lot of schemed up plays there. Chiefs fan here. I can't believe that a tackle of Josh Simmons' caliber would make it to us. But if I gotta blow up this chat, I can't read it. If keeps happening in mocks, what do you think the odds are? Or what do you think the odds of that are happening for Josh Simmons to the Chiefs? I don't think it's gonna happen. If Simmons did make it there, I would be a little concerned about his injury concern. I think teams would be passing on him because they're worried about him coming off that injury. A lot of teams are bringing him in for medical, physicals, and it would be a little bit of a scare. But he's too talented. I know he has his flaws. He's coming off the injury, but man, he has some rare traits to him. I think there's bound to be at least a team like picking somewhat early that goes like, we got to have this kid. Like he's so fast, so smooth, explodes out of his stance, perfect for today's NFL. There's bound to be several teams. I think he could end up going earlier than expected too. I mean, he could end up going as early as the Jets pick at 7. They put him at right tackle. I'm not predicting it, but that's a surprise pick that I could see. Are we finally getting this thing going? Let's see. We'll answer more questions here in a second. This is the first stream of the year, so bear with me. We're going to get it right. Probably could do another one this weekend, too, and then we'll have our live stream during day 1 of the NFL draft. All right. We'll just answer more questions. I'm sorry if I missed one in the chat. I got to fix this for next time, too, because I can't really see this. My eyes are also bad. I should probably be wearing my glasses. I don't know why I'm not, really. What QBs do you ultimately think get drafted in the first round? I mean, obviously Cam Ward. I really think someone's going to trade up for Shedeur, probably the Giants. Jackson Saints might trade up for Jackson Dart. I mean, the over-under set at 2.5. it's a good over under. Yeah. I mean, last year it crushed the over. Man, what is going on with these? But it's such a good over. It's probably going to be 2, I think, but it could be 3. My thoughts on Stutzman. I like Stutzman from Oklahoma. Kind of gives you old school middle linebacker vibes, but he's athletic too. He tested off the charts at the combine. I mean, there's not too many like him in this draft. Like, is he super flashy? No, but he reads the run correctly. He gets down him. The run fits are very solid. He's a very safe pick at the middle linebacker position. It's ranking the linebackers are tricky this year just because you got guys like Jalen Walker, who's a Swiss Army knife. He's going to play multiple spots. And Jod Campbell's the same thing. And then you have like true off-ball linebackers like Carson Schweschinger and Danny Stutzman. And, so they're a little, if you're looking for your traditional off-ball middle linebacker that you want you want that guy to be able to stop the run first, a guy like Danny Stutzman could be your guy, maybe after Schweschinger. So those are really the true off-ball guys that can play middle linebacker and do off-ball things consistently. So that's why it's weird to rank those guys, because Walker and Campbell could end up being edge rushers, but they play all over the place. They actually play more snaps off-ball. They're almost in a different category as those guys. So, the linebacker class is interesting. Mykel Williams to the Cowboys. I've mocked that before as well. Mykel Williams to the Cowboys at 12 to be a DeMarcus Lawrence replacement. Yeah, I mean, what Mykel Williams does very well is stop the run. I mean, I think that's a little high compared to my board, but I totally could see it. And he would, if you're ranking edge rushers, he's not going to be the best available. But if you're ranking DeMarcus Lawrence replacements, like, he's probably number 1 in terms of that specific style of replacement. He's a really good run stopper for an edge rusher, has upside as a pass rusher. Wish his get off speed was a little faster. All right, let's. I'll post this link right in the chat. I post the link in the chat. I'm sorry to any Twitter subscribers that couldn't figure it out. Maybe we'll do it a different way, hopefully, this weekend. But I posted a link in the chat. You click that link. You got to click multiplayer. So hopefully everyone's paying attention. You got to click multiplayer, and then you got to find the room that says Goat House. You click join that. I think it asks you to create a username, could be whatever, and then it asks you for a password. The password's going to be 2025. So the year it currently is 2025. Can I turn that password off? Now we really don't need it. But password 2025, you can pick your team. You can't close that tab, apparently. It's the first time using this. I would use Walk the Mock because it is the best mock draft simulator, but I know people do have to pay a membership to be able to do this. So, but we could try this a different way. Click link, click multiplayer. Yep. Click link, click multiplayer, username, then password is 2025. You pick a team. Please pick one team, and then we can have fun. But I'll answer some more questions in the meantime. Is there a player for the Patriots that would help them get back to the playoffs next year? Yeah, that's a good looking question. I mean, they need a left tackle so badly for Drake May. I think they're a sneaky playoff team as it is, just because I think so highly of Drake May. I've always liked Ramondre Stevenson, but they need a better running back, in my opinion. That's a tricky question. I mean, I feel like they can't really miss. If they go Will Campbell, they upgrade the offense line for Drake May. If they go Ashton Jeanty, then teams got to worry about stopping the run and the pass versus them, and they're going to be a dominant run team and probably a pretty good pass team as well. So, but they can also do that by adding a second round running back. So we'll see. Thoughts on Michigan edge Josiah Stewart? I don't know what I'm missing with him besides the fact that he's undersized. Top 50 player for me. I mean, yeah, the tape says he's very, very good. Obviously, he's explosive off the ball. I just whacked my face on the mic. He's explosive off the ball. And I look for that when it comes to edge rushers, flies off the ball. He can drop in coverage too. Yeah, he's a little shorter. I mean, you're really not missing anything else. I mean, he does need to play wide. Like, he needs to play wide outside of the tackle, which is fine. But I think there's going to be most of the teams in the NFL right now aren't going to view him as an every down player. Even though he can stop the run, it just, does he need a specific alignment? You know, he's a little undersized. If you look at all the good pass rushers in the NFL right now, I mean, how many of them are under 6'3" too? And I think he's 6'1". So that's another thing as well. But it's not like he's lacking power or anything from being undersized. Mock draft password is 2025. Mock draft for that link I sent in the chat. Mock draft password is 2025. Oh, this is filling up really fast. I don't know why the Twitter subscribers were having so much issues. Now everyone in the chat, the people in the chat that are joining, are figuring out no problem. Thoughts on T-Mac to Seattle? I personally Will Johnson. I don't think they're going to take a receiver. That offense, you will see, under Kubiak, you will see two receivers playing like 85%, probably more of the snaps. And then the third receiver will probably play like 20-something% maximum. So if the Seahawks get McMillan, somebody is, of course JSN's got to play a lot, and they gave Kupp a pretty good deal. So that wouldn't make any sense to me. I don't know, even though it would help them. Would Brian Flores, like a guy like Revel, reminds me of Gilmore, or do they trade down and still take him? I think they would trade down and try to target him. I definitely could see them liking him. He just has some durability concerns. I think he's a first-round talent, just has the durability concerns. I could see that. Do the Colts reach at 14 for Loveland? If not, I don't think that's that much of a reach, actually. Just because we've mocked him to the Chargers a ton doesn't really mean it's a reach. I think he's going to go much earlier. I think the Colts actually could be his floor. Booker seems a little early, even though he's worth the pick. It's just how many teams are going to take him. Like, if they don't take him, he's going to drop a little bit just because he's not a fit for every team. I guess this is full, right? Almost. Let's see. 3 people still need to pick a team. Oh, 4 people. I'm one of them. I have to pick a team. I don't know. Amar 2 has to select a team. Says no team selected. Fish says no team selected. Even though I thought he was on the Packers. I think you were, but now that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Let's see. What the heck could we do? I don't get why the people on Twitter were having such an issue with this, and the people in the chat. Well, we can do this again. I don't want to boot anybody off their team. Well, who's on the Packers? Let's see. Ty. Ty, if you're listening, would you mind switching teams? Because we have a Twitter subscriber that was here on the Packers, but his browser crashed, so it took him off the Packers. But I guess I can understand if you do not want to take yourself off the team. But yeah, we're gonna have to do this again. Maybe I'm trying to figure out a different way. Walk to mock is the best, but some of you have to pay to be able to do this. If I'm not, mistaken, unless there's a different way. Who am I picking for? Who's left? There's 4 teams left. Oh, it says the Packers are available now. All right. Fish, you could pick the Packers. I think Ty took himself out. Oh, what a guy. What a guy Ty is. Oh my god. He's going with the Bengals. I appreciate you, Ty. That was awesome. All right. What a guy. All right, I think all the teams are filled, and I just got to pick a team. I'll ask the chat. I end up with the Bengals actually, right? Ty got the 49ers. He switched. Okay, here we go. I got the Bengals. I'll ask the chat to make the Bengals pick. We're gonna okay. We're gonna draft and okay. Oh, that's my old. That was the old. It was on the screen for a second, but all right. I guess I could put this over here. That was my 2024 board that was up on the screen for a second. Don't know how. Cam Ward with the first pick to the Tennessee Titans. Gavin made the selection for his Tennessee Titans, so he kept it realistic. If Gavin's in the chat, let's see. Would you, if that's the, would that be the pick you make? I'm guessing, yeah. JP went with Travis Hunter to the Cleveland Browns. We were rolling through this. Rolling through it. Let's see. Giants are on the clock. I thought there was a timer. Who did I pick again? Bengals? It was the last team. And we could run this back a bunch of times, maybe. Well, what time is it? Okay. Oh, he got kicked and he had the Giants. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen if somebody... All right, maybe this simulator isn't the best. It's not Walk the Mock. Can we do this on Walk the Mock without people having a paid membership? Let's see. So if all right, where's the Giants? I don't know why it's not. There may be a Walk the Mock free trial. Yeah, I don't know. I guess when so the person picking for the Giants got booted, so it's not continuing. Yeah, Walk the Mock is a lot better, but all right. This has been a massive fail so far. All right. Let me figure this out. That's why we do the practice stream. This is the practice stream. Let's see. Am I logged in? Log in. I'm logged in. This is a great site. What's my... Is there a free trial? Draft with other users. Private. Allow spectators. Sure. Select your team. I have to pick a team now. Well, I'll just do the Bengals because that was the last team. And the last one, allow trades. Yes, time between picks, 2 minutes. What's the date? 18th. Start time. Can I change the start time after? I can't remember. Okay, here we go. All right, figuring it out. I think which got, let's see. I think the promo code is GOAT on Walk the Mock. All right, Walk the Mock. Use code GOAT. Someone said there's a free trial. I posted the link in the chat. Click that link. Pick your team. See if there's a free trial. Code GOAT if you want to sign up. I believe it's code GOAT for a percentage off. With promo code GOAT, it's only $4 for Walk the Mock. Yeah, so might be a free trial for new users. So maybe make a new account if you already had one, or something like that. Use code GOAT if you have to. We can be a little more organized. I would love. Oh shit! What was that? I need a haircut, boys. This is bad. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. We're filling it up. We're filling it. Let me put it on the screen. It's got that old. I don't know why that's up. There it is. Okay. All right. I'm getting organized, but there's the room, walkthemock.com. I put a link in there. That's how you join it. Code GO. If you make a new account, you might be able to get a free trial. It's easily the best simulator to do this, to draft with friends. It's worth it to sign up to, because if you don't have to, well, if we do another stream and do it again, then you can do it, but you can join or create lobbies on your own. You don't have to wait for me. So you may not have to. It may be worth it, I should say. Oh, I'm struggling. Link won't work? It's more fun if you don't have to pay for it, I know, but The other simulator was something buggy was happening. I don't know. The link won't work, you're saying. Looks like it's working. I don't know. I'll post it again. Code GOAT if you're signing up. Oh, I had to plug in keyboard to click the link. Huh. Yeah, so Walk the Mock, if you have to sign up, somebody said free trial if you make a new account. If you have to sign up, you could use code GOAT, and it's really cheap, and then you could mock anytime you want with other people. You can even create your own lobby with your friends. And there's different game modes too. They've added more game modes, or they're trying new stuff out. So pretty cool stuff. Starting in, I can put it back up on the screen. I need another monitor. I have another one. I got to set it up. Not now, but. Whoa. Yeah, I mean, it looked like it was working the other simulator, but it's like booting, guys. For some reason, I'm not really sure. Something buggy is happening where it just closes out and then they can't get back in. Genty to Jacksonville? I don't see it. Cohen doesn't. I feel like he doesn't value the. I was like calling for them to run the ball more. The Bucks, the Bucky Irving, and they just insisted on the pass. So I don't know if he values the run game enough, and he has two decent backs. They'll definitely draft one, but I'm not really sure where. You view Noel is a fit with Carolina. Yeah, I mean, the problem is Adam Thielen is so good in the slot, and Noel is a slot receiver, but at the same time, Thielen's not going to be around forever, even though it feels like he could be because he's still balling out. So I don't know if they go with a slot guy, and they'll look for an outside guy first. I could be wrong. How's this filling up here? Is it frozen? Oh, there we go. It was frozen on the stream. All right, there's a glare coming in here. Right back. What a disaster. We back. How many teams? Does anybody want me to move off the Bengals? Anybody want me to move off the Bengals? Let me know in the chat. I have the Bengals. I can move off to a different team. I am not on the Niners, so I can't move off the Niners. Okay. Diaz wants the Bengals. All right, I will move on the. I don't know who to move on. Colts. For now. Vikings are available. Why didn't I move on the Vikings? But I could come off. I can go off. All right, Diaz is on the Bengals. If anybody wants me to move off the Vikings, let me know. Let me put the link. Is this the link? Walk the Mock. I put the link in there again. If you have to sign up, use code GOAT. It'll be cheaper. But someone said there is a free trial if you make a new account. Let's see. Any chance you think Will Johnson can slip to Green Bay? Would be a great fit. It would be a pretty good fit. There's a shot just because he's refusing to run his 40 for a reason. I heard in his practice runs he was running like almost 4.6, which is actually a huge problem. But he's such an instinctive corner. Like you just don't see a guy that can read and jump and pick six a screen pass. It's really difficult to do. So let me know if someone wants me to move off the Vikings. Steelers and Lions are available, and Seahawks and Falcons. It's hard to see. It's starting in 42 seconds. Let's see. If you want me to move off the Vikings in this lobby, let me know in the chat. Say move off the Vikings, please, or something, you know. But it's starting in 25 seconds, so you got to hurry. The time of me saying this, it's 20 seconds. I don't know how delayed the stream is. I mean, you'll see me say it at that time, but yeah, I should have. You don't have any more time than what it says on the screen, I don't think. We'll do another one. I should have put more time. I was just trying to get things going here. Yeah, now I'll put you on a screen. You can just click default ranking to draft from. Who? Oh, the Vikings. I forgot who I was. All right, let's see. Pick Zen. Let me fix this up a little bit so it looks better. Is there sound effects on this? Let's see. Titan select. Is it staying there? Or is it? Oh no, it was up. I just wasn't on it. So Titans are, while that was frozen for me, the Titans picked Cam Ward. Gavin picked for the Titans, Cam Ward. Daniel for the Browns picked Travis Hunter. The who? I don't know what I said. I'm just messing with shit right now. Let's see. How could we see this better? All right. Giants are on the clock. This is just the warm-up stream. some difficulties. Can you move Cam to the left? I could. I like it better on the right. Everyone should be able to see this now, though. Much better? Is that better? Okay. First stream of the year. We're going to get it down. All right. So we got Giants on the clock. Time is winding down. We got Cameron picking for the Giants. He's a Lions guy, but picking for the Giants. I think it's 2 minutes per pick. Shedeur Sanders for the Giants. Yeah, now we can't see that, though. Patriots pick Abdul Carter. So, interesting scenario where Shedeur goes 3, so then the Patriots are able to get one of the elite prospects. So we got Cam Ward first, Travis Hunter second, which is probably going to happen. Then Shedeur Sanders 3, which could happen. I'm not counting on it, but it could. And then, but that's not what this is all about. You pick who, or maybe you pick who you think what's going to happen. If predict the pick, or maybe you pick what you want that team to pick, or what they should pick. This is supposed to be a 2-round mock. Jags pick is in. Jags select Ashton Jeanty. There's been a little bit of buzz about that. I'm not buying into it. We can do this again this weekend. I'll have everything set up a little bit better. This is the first time streaming in a year, so I'm much better just with the videos. So was that Cardiac Cats selected Ashton Jeanty, right? Raiders go Tataroa McMillan. This is getting wild already. I mean, maybe Pete Carroll sees a little bit of DK Metcalf with a little more upside in a guy like, or maybe that's bold saying a little more upside, but in a guy like McMillan. So 6th overall. This is wild. Who do you see the Packers taking at 23? I see Matthew Golden is an option. Donovan Ezeraku is an option. I could see maybe Tataroa McMillan's there. Maybe they take him. A few options there. I don't think I see Shamar Stewart mocked there a lot. I think he's going to go a lot earlier than that. That'd be great. Yes, what was the logic in the chat? There's another truly blue chip prospect available. I'd consider them, but I'm not completely sold on anyone else. They're at another position that's devalued. So no Mason Graham for Cardiac Cats and the Jags. He went with Ashton Jeanty. So he's got a point. Like, Jeanty's like a sure thing, gonna be great, elite prospect. Armand Membou to the Jets. So Will Campbell's still available. Membou more of a right tackle, though you could argue that Membou is better than Will Campbell. It's definitely up, for debate there. What did that pop up on the screen? Alert box. Oh yeah. Let me get that back up there. Carolina Panthers select Mason Graham. So Super Pony donated $1.99. Best pick for the Colts. That isn't Warren. Loveland? I'm kidding. Well, maybe. I think Loveland's very good as well. Man, I wouldn't mind Josh Simmons for them. That's a little bold. The Saints just took Will Campbell. But appreciate you for your donation. But I wouldn't mind Josh Simmons. I know they brought him in for a visit, which is important because he's a guy coming off the injury. So if he passed the physical for them, I wouldn't mind that. I like him at right tackle. He's played it in the past. Bengals pick is in. Walter, no, the Bengals traded up. That means the Bengals traded up. We'll take a look at what happened there. But yeah, Colts can take Josh Simmons. They could take, it just depends on who's there. I'm trying to think who could, like, if there's a sneaky guy, like Loveland's an option. I mean, could they go edge rusher? I like Shamar Stewart, but I don't know if they would take him. 49ers select Shamar Stewart. There you go. I like Stewart. He might not be productive, right? He probably won't be productive. I could see him being surprisingly productive right away, but he's still got a lot of work on. But when you see those physical and athletic traits, but we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. So it's on your screen. What's been happening? It's an interesting mock draft so far. So Will Campbell fell right in the Saints' lap. Riley B took them. So there was a trade. The Bears traded back. Who's playing for the Bears? L. Jeffy. And then Diaz, I let him have the Bengals. I didn't really want the Bengals anyways. I got my Vikings. He traded up. He knew that, all right, the Cowboys pick is in. Cowboys pick is in. But kind of want to get back to the Colts, who else they can pick. Luther Burden for the Cowboys. I mean, Luther Burden could end up being better than expected. He's a freak athlete. For a shorter guy, he's not that short. He's kind of a bigger slot, believe it or not. But he can go up and catch the ball. Steelers pick is in. Steelers traded up. Astronaut, who has controlled the Niners, said he got sniped by the Bengals because he wanted Walter Nolan. Jahdae Barron for the Steelers. We can fix this. Let's see. Okay. Trying to catch up. So the trade. Bears got another second-round pick, and they moved back 7 spots. I think that's great for the Bears. But Walter Nolan is a top 5 prospect for me. I'm a huge fan. You got to move over to the Niners to get him. The Bengals finally have a really good defensive tackle, so Diaz went ahead and did that. Astronaut took Stewart. Yeah, all traits, but it's pretty rare, the physical and athletic traits that he has. He explodes off the ball. He wins with power. They aligned him inside at times, too, and he won reps even though he didn't get a sack on the play. So, I mean, he's got a lot of upside. I like him. And then Luther Burden, the Cowboys, is interesting. I mean, he could be the best receiver in this class, not named Travis Hunter. Jahdae Barron to the Steelers. They trade up. They probably play him in the slot in this scenario, which he'd be a damn good slot corner. The Texas corner, I should say. Is it a robot for the Colts? We got a bot for the Colts. But yeah, a Super Pony donated. Appreciate your donation. I was, answering that again. Who else could the Colts take besides Warren? Loveland, Josh Simmons could be a little sneaky. I don't think Membu would be there. The problem with one of those tackles is they would probably sit for a year, which isn't that fun. But could they take one of those edge rushers? Yeah, they could. Really, any of them I could see. Don't think they would take a defensive tackle. They could go like Kenneth Grant, just like the future Grover Stewart. That's a possibility. Colts don't have a lot of giant needs, so that's the good thing with the Colts. But all right, back to it. Colts, we got a bot. And the selection is Tyler Warren. I didn't know he's on the board. That was too obvious. So, the Colts. Yeah, the Colts need a starting guard today more than a tackle, right? But Braden Smith, I think, is getting kind of near the end. There was some talk about him maybe even retiring early this year or them moving on from him. So I think they're looking out for the future right tackle, but they do need a starting guard today. I don't think I could see them finding a starting guard in the mid rounds and him being like really good. That's just kind of how the Colts are with the offensive lineman. I have been sent a trade offer. Where do I find it? Oh, I've done this before. I've used the site a million times before. There we go. I found it. Well, I'm not going to accept the Bengals one. The Patriots one, the Patriots one makes a lot of sense. I think that's pretty realistic, too. We'll just accept it. Why not? Wait, we're going to wait and see who's on the board. What am I doing? Getting ahead of myself here. How do I close this? We'll wait and see who's on the board. I might accept that Patriots trade just because I think it's realistic it might happen. The Chiefs traded up and took Will Johnson, Michigan corner. Packers traded up. We're going to look at this in a second. Matthew Golden for the Green Bay Packers. Could they stay put and get Golden? Maybe, maybe not. So we didn't check out the Steelers details. Can you guys see this on your screen? It's not showing me yet. There it is. So Steelers and the Dolphins swapped. Dolphins picked up 2/3 basically this year and next year. Then we had the Chiefs go up and take Will Johnson. I don't know if they would do that just because they like their corners to press, and Will Johnson he's an off zone guy right now. So, he could, of course, kind of convert. But I don't know if they would do that. But where is it? Chiefs, Falcons traded. Realistic for the Falcons to trade back. They're looking to get more picks. They get a third-round pick and a next year first-round pick. So that's a pretty good haul for the Falcons there. Packers traded up with the Cardinals. Pick 16, pick 23 swap. Cardinals get a third-round pick. The Packers went up and got Matthew Golden. I mean, they would have a legit receiver. Then. And then remember the Bears traded back to 17 and they picked up an extra second round pick and they still get Amari and Hampton. So they have their star running back for Ben Johnson. So that's pretty good. Pretty good stuff there for the Bears if they're able to get a second round pick and get a guy like Hampton. I think that's great. Let's see. Yeah, I can see the Seahawks taking Colson Loveland. That's kind of like a sneaky landing spot. If he's available, he might be gone. Oh, all right. The guy, Blake, who's picking for the Chiefs, meant to take Calvin Banks. How do you pull that off? How are we pulling that off? Meant to take Calvin Banks, took Will Johnson. That makes more sense. I was like, I wouldn't see the Chiefs trading up to take Will Johnson, but never know. But Calvin Banks, a realistic trade up. They can trade up to go get a legit left tackle or left guard. He could play either for them, which they could use. That's kind of funny. On P. Rizzy 8, I like the Titans. Yes, he does like the Titans. Pete could have joined this remote. I don't know how we would do it now. Just the last second. So when I tweeted I was in a stream, it was the last second. I better get on and do this because I might want to do another one this weekend. And I know I'm going to have struggles, which we've had plenty of struggles. First time streaming this year. We'll try to stream some more too. Pete's in the chat. Pigskin Pete's in the chat. I need to set up another monitor too. Pete likes the Titans. All right, I got to catch up on this draft. Jalen Walker to the Bucks. I mean, the Bucks would love to have that if that happened. All right, so catching up. The bot took Jihad Campbell, which the Seahawks did bring Campbell in for a top 30 visit. Again, I don't take the top 30 visits super, super serious, but if it's guys that have had injuries, especially recent injuries, like Campbell, he had surgery in the offseason, I take it pretty serious. So the Seahawks have interest in Campbell. And then Wise Kodiak for the Buccaneers took Jalen Walker, kind of fell right in his lap. Was this a trade? Yeah, the Broncos traded back with the Browns. Vikings fans want me to draft a safety. I'm a big best player available guy. We'll see. I might trade back. Calvin Banks for the Browns. Now the Chiefs, Blake picking for the Chiefs wanted to take Calvin Banks, but the Browns trade up, right? So there you get the details. And they take, okay, it's off. You saw it. I'm not a big Malachi Starks in the first round. I think he could be great wherever he goes, but he doesn't really bring me anything unique that says first round. Like, he didn't play that well in the slot this year. He's a free safety. That's where he's really good. But, so there's the Browns details. Once again, they took Calvin Banks. Dolphins traded back. Don't forget they acquired a couple third-round picks. Took Mike Green, so another pass rusher to pair with Chop Robinson for the future. It's a pretty explosive, little smaller of an edge rush duo, but it's very explosive. Jacob for the Chargers is on the clock. So the Chargers would take Colson Loveland here. I'm getting sent trade offers. I'll take a look at your trade offers. We'll take a look. Titans want... Oh, I got some decisions to make here. The Titans want to give me... So I go back a little bit. I get, fourth round picks. I don't think it's going to cut it. Future one. I mean, it's a pretty good offer. but I can't have fun with the future one in this mock. 2, 3, 4. That Jags offer is better than the Patriots offer, right? It's better. That's close actually, because do I want? Well, I'm not gonna pick for this. It's better. It's a 2-round mock. But the Jets offer, I mean, they would not turn down that Jets offer. What a future first. I wouldn't be picking if I accepted that crazy offer. I don't know. We'll take a look at it again in a second. So what just happened? The Chargers took James Pierce Jr., a sneaky need for the Chargers. It's not that sneaky, but nobody really talks about the Chargers need an edge rusher. They need an edge rusher. So James Pierce Jr. is a stud. He's got a little bit of attitude situation apparently going on. But that's a really solid pass rusher that actually could, he's dropped in coverage. He's played off ball. Not that that's his main position at all. Can align in different spots. He just gets after the quarterback at a high level. His inside rush moves are pretty damn dominant, actually, and he's stronger than he looks. So I think people are starting to sleep on him a little bit. That would be a different but pretty good pick for the Chargers. Cardinals are on the clock. They traded back, right? Was that with the Packers? It was with the Packers. They picked up an extra third-round pick. And then I am on the board, on the clock, I should say, with my Vikings, but I might trade. We got some offers. I've been sent another trade offer. I mean, it's realistic for the Vikings to trade back. Only 4 selections, so. This is a free site unless, well, technically no. So unless you want to do this, like draft with other people. I heard there's a free trial. If you make a new account, you make a free trial. But if you sign up, it's really cheap if you use code GOAT. If you use code GOAT, it is really cheap. We can do this again on the weekend, maybe multiple times. Who'd the Cardinals pick? Mykel Williams. Yeah, he dropped a bit, so you might as well. Here, it helps him stop the run a little bit better. I'm getting sent. Okay, I got less than 2 minutes. Oh, boy. All right, Saints are sending me a lot of shit. I'm not going to have enough time to look at all these. See, I don't know what to do here because do I accept the most realistic or do I accept the best? I mean, the Saints offer, is pretty ridiculous. The Vikings would not turn that down, but it's not realistic. The Saints wouldn't really offer that, I don't think, with all of that. First-round pick and a third-round pick next year. Broncos did a lot of trading. It's just hard to decide this in 2 minutes. I mean, I gotta accept that Saints offer, right? I think we got it. The more realistic ones, the Patriots. I mean, the Saints I could see it with the Saints because they could come up and get a quarterback. They didn't take one yet, right? I just really stupid to not accept that, so we'll accept that. So where am I picking? 8th in the second round. It's only a 2-round mock, so that's the only time I'll pick. So it's not as exciting for this mock draft, but I just felt like accepting a trade. This is your guys' mock, not really mine. So went ahead and did that one because we get a future pick as well. They wouldn't turn that down. And the Bengals were offering me like loads of their. They wouldn't turn that one down either. It's just insanely unrealistic. So I kind of didn't even pay attention to it. Sorry. Who did the Saints take? Jackson Dart. Yeah, that was kind of my thinking. The trade with the Saints or the Patriots, because it's kind of realistic. The Patriots, I don't know for who exactly, but I could just see it happening, and the Saints come up for a quarterback. Yeah, I don't know if it's really realistic, though. I don't know if the Saints would trade that next year first. I don't think they would do that. There's no way. Code GOAT, and you can get this for $4. And you don't have to wait for me to play along. You can make your own lobbies. There's other game modes and stuff. They have like beta modes here and there. They told me. So it's a lot of fun, and we'll stream again either tomorrow or Sunday, maybe more than once. Well, we'll stream probably one more time before our day one live stream, but we can do multiple mocks. I don't know let me know in the chat. You guys prefer doing like a 3-round mock, and that's the stream, or like multiple first round mocks where everyone could choose different teams each time we do it, or more people can get in. Maybe that. Several just 1-round live mocks on Walk the Mock. Texans select Donovan Jackson. That would be a great pick in my opinion. I'm a big Donovan Jackson fan. So if you're just joining us, here is the draft. Oh, the Bears are picking again. I can just exit out of that. Bears took Josh Simmons. That's great down here at pick 26. I mean, he's got some injury concern because he was just injured, but it's an explosive left tackle. Very athletic, very smooth. So the Bears came away with Amarian Hampton and Josh Simmons. But kind of scrolling through this, this is what's kind of going on in this wild draft. And keep in mind, Blake, who's controlling the Chiefs, did say in the chat that he felt like he clicked Calvin Banks. That's who he wanted to take, and it ended up going Will Johnson. So, and Calvin Banks went to the Browns. So that jacked everything up. That's all right. A lot of trades going on. The Ravens pick is in. Tyler Booker is the pick. I think it's a realistic pick. So let's go through this. Because I like to do winners and losers videos at the end of each day. Grades as well. So how would I look at this? I mean, this would be Travis Hunter's my number 1 player in the draft. We are expecting him to go to the Browns, though, so no surprise there. Abdul Carter's my number 2 pick. He's not really supposed to be there at 4, so that would be an A+ for the Patriots. The Lions just picked Donovan Ezaraku, so they get their pass rusher. Very skilled, consistent, productive pass rusher. He's lacking the ability to consistently win with power, though. So would that be a turnoff for specifically a team like the Lions? We will learn on draft day if he's available. But yeah, Abdul Carter stands out. I mean, the surprise of Ashton Jeanty to the Jags stands out. I mean, he's worthy of the pick. That would mean somebody between Bigsby and Etienne not playing as much. Oh, and speaking of the Jags, they're picking again. And they just selected Colston Loveland. He is still available all the way down at 29. So they traded. There's the trade details with the Commanders. There was a trade up here with the Bears. The Bills just selected Kenneth Grant. That's a steal. A steal down there at 30. Bears and the Rams traded. Ooh, the Rams got 2 second round. Oh, no. They swapped. They went back, and they added another second. We did those trade, that trade. There's a lot of trades going on. But let's see what stands out. Yeah, a lot of surprise picks. Mason Graham to the Panthers would be interesting because they have Derek Brown back, and they added Tershawn Wharton. So, that's quite the group there than they have. Will Campbell fell right in the Saints' lap. Walter Nolan, trade up. I like Shamar Stewart for the 49ers. I like Matthew Golden for the Packers. They did have to trade up. I like what the Bears did earlier where they got a second-round pick, and they got Amarian Hampton. Walker falls right in the Bucs' lap. Kind of like the James Pierce to the Chargers one. All right, we're getting a little crazy here. So the Rams just picked back-to-back, trading around a lot. They took Nick Imanwari from South Carolina, and they took Jalen Milroe with the last pick in the first round. So, yeah, that's a little crazy. I don't think that's the right system fit, but, who knows? Lions picked again. A little bit of a trade with the Browns there, and they took Gray Zabel, who played tackle for North Dakota State, but is going to play guard or center at the next level. Could start at guard for the Lions right away. If they have any injuries, then you have a guy that can move around like a Ragnow injury. So Giants on the clock. These are coming off rapid fire now. The trades are a little crazy. So sometimes these get a little unrealistic. You could turn trades off, but it's not as fun. I know a lot of people like to really play GM and like to work the phones a little bit. Um, but it does get a little wacky. But the draft is wacky. You know, the draft is unpredictable. Anything can happen. Yeah, I agree. If Simmons didn't get injured, I think Josh Simmons would be drafted in the top 10. Yep. Just, I mean, even without the injury, he does have struggles anchoring at times. He kind of gets powered back a little bit, but he's got some rare movement skills. He's got the ideal traits you look for. And even though he could add power, he has moments where he looks plenty powerful. Like if his momentum is going forward, he's plenty powerful enough. He's just kind of sitting, dropping back against a more physical pass rusher. But he's, you talk about the guys that have some elite, like rare traits to them. Like he's up there. Like guys like him and Shamar Stewart, these are guys that don't get mocked super early, but they could be unicorn type players. Oh, picks are flying in. All right. Patriots ended up getting Josh Connerly Jr. in the second round. That's great. Derek Harmon to the Eagles in the second round. That's insane. I just don't think it's going to happen, though. Lots of trades going on. Lots of trades. Commanders take Emeka Egbuka. I mean, all these are good picks. I'm getting more trade offers. Oh, it's just this one. I'm going to see who's on the board here coming up. Wish it was my board over there. You can make your board on this site, and you could input, like you can import it, I guess, and use it. So it's pretty cool. Another reason, if you're signing up, use code GOAT. Trey Amos is still available. Raiders took Quinshon Judkins, Ohio State running back. Kind of looking through what's available as this. A lot of people probably want Starks in it. I'm not a huge Starks guy. Like he could definitely be very good. Thoughts on people accepting draft day invites? Anything to read into? Not really. I mean, the NFL said they were going to try to limit it to guys that were for sure going to get selected, but I think I deep down think they're trying to drum up more and more interest. They like having guys there that get selected right away, and they like having guys there that sit. There's like a big storyline, so I'm not going to make a big deal about it. Let's see. Trey Amos just went to the Cowboys. That'd be a pretty good value pick. Well, I'm on the clock. Who did the Titans take? Titans took Kyle Williams. This is a pretty realistic pick, it seems. Let's see what kind of D linemen are left. Oh, it shows some edge rushers on here. Let me see what's available. It's hard to do in a minute 40. Interior offensive line. Savai Naya, I like him a lot. He would have to move to the left side. I'm sure he can do it. Any guys that can play? We might trade again. I like Revel might be my top player available if I'm looking at this right. Even though Starks is available, I like Xavier Watts a lot. I like Makuba better than them both, but kind of trade offers we get. Oh, move back a couple spots, right? Accept that. Move back a couple spots. This is your guys' draft, so I'm kind of just playing along here with the. But I do think the Vikings could trade back multiple times. Jets picked Azareye'h Thomas. Man coverage corner, good fit. Aaron Glenn, Steve Wilks. They like to run a lot of man coverage. Now it's a bot picking for the Falcons. Maxwell Harrison still available. I think Revel is a first round talent. He's just had a recent injury and multiple injuries in his past. But man, if Revel had 0 past injuries, I think he'd be not just a first round pick. He'd be a top 15 pick. He has the all kinds of traits that you look for. He has ball skills, playmaking ability, instincts, the press ability that could be refined a little bit, could be tuned a little bit. Oh, am I on the clock? No, I'm not on the clock yet. Savone Revel. Starks, Harrison, Revel, Morrison. And Morrison's a first-round talent as well based on his 2023 tape. Even before then, but early 2024 didn't look as good and coming off an injury, but he's definitely talented. JT Tuimoloau, one of my favorites. He's still available. Vikings definitely don't need an edge rusher, though. Carson Schwessinger is going to be gone by this point. I'm going to make another mock at some point, and I already have plans of having him in the first round. I think he might go first round. We'll see, which probably would surprise some people. Ravens, Rams, if they finally value linebacker. Maybe Bills. Some people say Lions, but they just extended Barnes, and they already have Anzalone. They already have Campbell, so I don't know. Vikings need a tight end for the future. It's just Mason Taylor's there. Maybe they'd be tempted. I heard they're doing homework on receivers, believe it or not. I think it's just too early at this point for them to be valuing that. What kind of D lineman? We're on the clock. We are on the clock. Oh, yeah, big fan of Joshua Farmer. I'm leaning Revel, even though most people probably have Harrison ahead of him or one of those safeties. But you just got to stay healthy. That's the thing. But let's see these trades. I don't want to not pick. Vikings do have a long list of corners, though. They have a long list of corners. Any Vikings fans in the comments have a suggestion? I want this to be the fans mock draft. Mock draft. I bet the fans want me to take one of the safeties. I like Makuba the best out of those three, but that's just me. Do I accept the trade offer? I took Savone Revel. I'm just a fan of his game. He's got to stay healthy for me, though. He's got to stay healthy. And corner isn't the Vikings' biggest need. It's not. They have a long list of corners that could play. Obviously, they just signed Byron Murphy to a big contract, but he's a guy that can line up outside and in, and they even brought in Jeff Okudah. That could be pretty sneaky. So they don't necessarily need a starting corner right now, but literally, Savone Revel has the talent and the traits to be a top 15, maybe top 20 guy in the first round. He's just coming off a knee injury, and he's had injuries dating back to high school. I think one of them was from a car accident, so it's not like he got injured on the football field, but he's had multiple injuries. But he's long, he's athletic, he's physical. He wants to tackle too. He will come up and hit you. He had a bunch of goal line stands. Like he had a bunch of goal line stops. When do you see a corner have that many of those or even have any of those? So I just love his game. He's just got to stay healthy. I love some of those corners at the top. I like Trey Amos, but if Revel was healthy, like no durability concerns, like he would be up there. He might even be the best corner in the class. The traits are eye-popping for him. So he's a guy that can be sneaky in the first round. And the other knock is he played against much weaker competition, and he's allowed guys in his press and man coverage to get downfield on him, not get a step on him. He actually has the makeup speed and the length to still make the play most of the time. When I say most of the time, but I think a coach can work with his footwork and his press ability a little bit. And that could, because he's not losing a step because of speed. It's not because of speed. It's just because of technique. So that's kind of what you want to see. Because if they're losing a step because of speed from press, you can't really coach that, right? And then we've had the Niners take Ariante Ursary. They can move him to right tackle, and he can be the future Trent Williams at left. Yeah, he's a unique one, too, because he's such a big body, physical guy, but he played in an outside zone scheme at Minnesota, which is great for the 49ers because they like their guys to have a certain level of physicality. Look at Trent Williams. He's one of the biggest bullies in the game, but he also could move. And Ursary, he's not going to be Trent Williams, but he kind of checks those boxes there. So the more I'm talking about him, the more I like him. And then Maxwell Harrison to the Giants, speedy corner, really good at jumping routes, jumping the ball, making a play. He played really far off the ball and allowed receptions underneath them against good receivers that kind of played a little scared at times. But Kentucky's got such a complex defense that it's really good to test these guys for the NFL. Like, it's a little closer to an NFL defense, so it's a little harder on a guy like Harrison than all the other corners. Like, their jobs actually could be a little easier. Not all of them, but Colts. This is a bot. Malachi Starks. Starks the guy who can go late first, or he can go around this range. It's just, is he unique enough, or is he just a free safety that probably needs a zone cover, a cover 4 team or a cover 2 team? Jaden Higgins to the Patriots at 14. That's their big body outside receiver. Do you think the Jags could take Walter Nolan over Mason Graham? I think it's possible. I'm not counting on it, but it's possible. I do like Walter Nolan a lot. What was the Bears picks? Oh, yeah, I can scroll back a little bit. Hopefully you guys are paying attention. Pretty much everybody traded, it felt like. Almost everyone. Yeah, Bears traded to 17. I see people asking about the Bears in the chat. Amari and Hampton picked up an extra second, but then they traded up and gave up one of those seconds for Josh Simmons. So they got 2 legit talents there. So the Bears have been dealing a little bit here, right? Yeah. So they're picking again soon. Cardinals just took Carson Schwessinger. His last name makes me want to say Carson. I don't know why. Hell of a ball player. I watched more of him recently. He's moving up my board. I mean, very sound in coverage. He's underrated stopping the run. He can hit the ground before the ball carrier does, but he still makes the tackle. So he could use a little bit more power, but in terms of true off-the-ball linebacker, he's the best in the class. He's actually, to me. So, interesting one that could go in the first round. But, yeah, I don't know why I say his name, Carson Schwessinger. Well, I do know, because his last name. Something else I was doing, I never said it in a video. I kind of wrote it down. It was a mistake. It was with Jalen Walker and Michael Williams. I wanted to say Michael Walker. Michael Walker is a current player in the NFL. He was a little bit of a hybrid player coming out. Like, is he edge? Is he a linebacker? Kind of like Jalen Walker. And you have Jalen Walker, Michael Williams, both coming from Georgia, playing the same position. So when I was taking my notes, I was writing Michael. I'm confusing myself again. Michael Walker. I got it down, solved that problem in no time. Now I probably confused myself again. All right, back to the chat. Falcons are racking up those picks. Oh, it's the bot, too. You would not rather have Henderson over Hampton? I'd rather have Hampton, but I could see Henderson going ahead of Hampton. Dolphins took Jonah Savaiinaya. Yeah, I mean, he could start for them at tackle or guard, so that would be a pretty good pick there. Could go earlier. You think the Vikings go best player available, or what I did there? Yeah, I'm a best player available guy. I didn't really have the time to go through this as my I didn't import my board, but he's got to be my best player available. It's a first round talent. I have the round 1/-2 next to him on my board. We got a donation. The Lost Sound donated $4.99. Appreciate you very, very much. The best running back not talked about enough is Khalil Mullings from Michigan. Yeah, he's physical. I mean, he hits the hole as well. Just kind of a pleasant surprise this year. Probably, I mean, he's going to get drafted. It's going to be late, but a good kind of a short yardage guy at first. Could end up maybe panning out like a Jordan Mason type running back. There's just so many good running backs in this class that guys are getting either not talked about because of it or just pushed down the list. And because of it, I think teams are going to teams know running back is the easiest position to evaluate. The easiest. Can they see the hole consistently? Can they hit the hole? And then what kind of juice do they bring you afterwards? With their breaking tackle ability, with their overall athleticism. So teams they're not going to come off the board perfectly, but I think there's going to be guys that most people think, like a Ja'Cory Grosky-Merritt, like guys like that, where people think are a late round pick, but teams will draft them in the 3rd or 4th round. So we'll see. Bengals took Xavier Watts back with Al Golden, Notre Dame defensive coordinator, is now the Bengals defensive coordinator. The Bears pick came up, Darius Alexander, so they get their defensive tackle. I appreciate you for the donation, though. Means a lot. Again, we'll try to live stream again. I have a lot of things to work on before the draft, though, but we're going to try to live stream again before the draft live stream. We can do this again. I asked the question, and I didn't look in the chat for the answers a little bit ago. Would you guys prefer to do, next time I live stream, to do a bunch of these walk the mocks with you guys, like a bunch of them with only one round, and different people can get in, and different people can have different teams? Or do we do like one big one, like 3 rounds? I think the multiple one-rounders makes a lot of sense. I don't know. I saw somebody talk about Corey Kiner in the mock, or in the chat. You said in a different video, but I'm in love with Corey Kiner. Yeah, I love the contact balance. He's kind of like, I was thinking about doing a video like this. I'm not going to get to it. I don't know how many views it would get because I don't know what to title it, but who is the later version of like each guy? Like Ashton Jeanty, that top prospect. Who could I get that is kind of the later poor man's version of Ashton Jeanty? Corey Kiner from Cincinnati. The contact balance really stands out. Tetarola McMillan. I got a bold one for Tetarola McMillan. I had one, Nick Nash, the San Jose State receiver, just because his ability to go up and get the ball at its highest point, but while doing that, he sneakily plays in the slot and dominates over the middle of the field. And I had more of those, maybe like a later round, not a little bit later, Andrew Makuba would be like a Craig Woodson, and a little bit later after that, Marshall safety, J.J. Roberts, a very thin play, downhill but athletic safety. So there's like different versions of some of the top prospects, so it's really fun. But I was thinking about that, but I can talk about, there's definitely more I have, and I can't remember right now, but let's see. Lions got Tyleik Williams down here. Nick Scorton for the Browns. Oh, am I tired already? Caleb Johnson for the Commanders taking over as their RB1. That would be something. Packers select Landon Jackson. Could see that. Landon Jackson's the guy that's grown on me probably the most. There's guys that I'm still watching, like linebackers and DBs. But out of the guys that I've already watched again, who's grown on me, Landon Jackson might be at the top of that. I've watched more of guys that have grown on me, like Nick Imenwari. Watched more of him in coverage, and it's like, okay. Like, I can see what the fuss is about here with the upside. And then Schlesinger, more I watch him, like, this is the best pure off-ball linebacker. I totally could see him in the first round. Let's see. What do I think of Caleb Ransaw? He has a really solid slot corner. I mean, he could play outside. There's some talk about him playing safety because he kind of does give you like a box safety vibe, the way he kind of reads, attacks downhill, lays a big hit. He played corner for the most part. I think earlier in his career, if I'm not mistaken, he did line up at safety at times. Yeah, either way, he's going to play in the slot. There's teams that like having more of a box safety instead of a nickel corner, and there's some teams that like having more of a your in terms of the traits, nickel corner. So I think he'll end up and could fit the slot role in any scheme. Basically, he'll probably go. If I had to put money around 4 or 5, I mean, I wouldn't be completely floored if he went. He's a rangy one. I wouldn't be completely floored if he went in round 3 or round 6. So he can go anywhere from 3 to 6, but I'm going to say 4 or 5 is probably where he goes. But I like the way he attacks downhill and hits. Getting my food order in. I'm sorry. Let's see. Let's see. The Vikings had to take safety. Who would you pick? Right now, I have Iman Wari at the top. I actually have Makuba next. Makuba has the best tape, the best instincts. Iman Wari has insane upside. Then I have Watts and Starks right at the same spot. Starks more athletic. Watts just completely does not have the traits you look for in terms of physical and athletic traits, but the dude just gets the ball consistently. And Starks played in the slot this year. He was not good there. He got beat up against Texas. He got a lot of guys behind him, but he's a good free safety. So if you want more of the playmaker, you go Watts. If you want more of the smooth athlete, you go Starks. But guys like Iman Wari and Makuba bring more to the table, in my opinion. But Makuba, there's some injury concern because he weighs 186 pounds and he plays downhill attacking. Like, continues to play like that, he might get hurt, but he's really fun. Tui Malau just came off the board. So what do we have? We had Harold Fannin to the Chargers. We had Darian Porter to the Bills. Kevin Winston to the Panthers. And Tui Malowau to the Giants. A big fan of JT Tui Malowau. Ravens take Braden Swinson. Swinson's one of the intriguing prospects in the draft because he was at Oregon, struggled to stay on the field. Dan Lanning's a really good coach, really good defensive mind coming from Georgia. He struggled to stay on the field because, and I heard this before this draft too, it was because they love for their edge rushers, just like they do at Georgia, to make sure they set the edge first. Do not, lose your contain. Don't let anyone outside you. We're not giving up, big runs. Because in college, there's so much, read options too. The quarterback running outside, right outside those edge rushers. So, and he couldn't do it. He kept getting suckered inside. He couldn't do it. So they, hey, we're not starting you. We're not playing you. And then he transfers to LSU, where they just let him just go at it full throttle off the edge. And he is a pass rusher. That is a natural, explosive, nifty pass rusher. And he can tackle, but he still had issues. When he played Jalen Milroe in Alabama, he suckered himself inside, and then boom, the outside's wide open. So he does have that issue. Teams might be afraid of him play on running downs, not because he can't tackle. He can hit, he can wrap up and tackle, but because he struggles to set the edge a little bit there. But explosive pass rusher. So one of the more intriguing prospects in the draft for everything I just said. Over under 65% chance Steelers go quarterback round 1. I say under. I could be wrong. Everybody's wrong a ton on draft day because random stuff happens, and I love it. But I don't know. To me, if it depends on who's on the board, but you got a guy, there probably is gonna be like a really good defensive player. We'll say defensive tackle on the board. Mike Tomlin's gonna value that. Are they really gonna have? Maybe Derek Harmon's gonna be gone. That's a guy I like a lot for the Steelers. If he's there, it's a great fit. Let's just say he's on the board. Are they really gonna have Shedeur Sanders or any quarterback on their board in their war room above Derek Harmon? I just don't see it. But teams sometimes go, well, we need a quarterback. That's the most important position. We'll go a little bit lower on our board. We won't take the guy on the top that's available. We'll take him. It's happened before. I don't see Mike Tomlin go, we'll take our second best guy on the board just because he's a quarterback. That's me, my opinion. But maybe nobody good is available, like defensive tackles, or they don't have a ton of needs after that, honestly. I mean, they could they use another DB? Could they? Sure, but so I guess if there's not a lot of guys off the on the board, then maybe. Why do you think there is such a disparity between media and fans with Chiefs guard need? Oh, I forgot I had to do something. All right. Oh, it's the end of the draft. Let's get my food order, and the stream's going a little longer than I expected. So we had the Broncos got Travion Henderson all the way down there after probably a few trades, and they're pretty likely to take him in the first round if he's there. Buccaneers go Jacob Parrish. Big fan of Jacob Parrish. Really undersized, but he doesn't play like it. Can play outside in the slot. Big fan. This is a dog. Jack Sawyer, it's a little early for me there, but he does a good job stopping a run. Lacking a little bit of length. A little tight. I think he's a little overrated, but he's kind of like a Sam Hubbard type player. Maybe not as good. Princely Uman Mielen. If it wasn't for the Georgia game, he probably wouldn't go anywhere near here, but he dominated Georgia. That's a pretty good tape. Sometimes where guys just have he's had more than one dominant outing, but when guys play that well against big time competition, it just does enough there. Charles Grant, I think it's a little early, but a lengthy, athletic mover. He's played pretty poor competition. I kind of worry about those with the tackles, but there you have it. Kind of scrolling through it a little bit. Yeah. Next time we stream, I will be a little more organized with the first stream of the year, but we can do this again this weekend. We can, probably not going to run it back right now, but either, tomorrow or Sunday. Probably tomorrow, but we'll see. Maybe both. But we can run it back next time we do the stream. We can keep doing first rounds, and everyone can switch up their teams, and everyone can try to get involved. If you sign up for Walk the Mock, use code GOAT. But somebody wants me to look through the teams. Let's see. This is it's up there. Cardinals grabbed Michael Williams and trades. Schlesinger, I mean, they get two guys that are going to come in and start for them. Obviously pretty solid. Not a huge Michael Williams guy, but at pick 23, which they acquired a pick by doing this, I like that. So it's pretty good. Falcons was a bot, so they can go F themselves. Ravens get Tyler Booker and Braden Swinson. That's a pretty good outing as well. I mean, those are two really good fits. Both probably could start for them, right away. Bills, Grant, Porter, Sawyer. The Grant pick is an A++ pick. Huge fan of Kenneth Grant. Borderline top 10 player for me. Just a unique, rare type of player. I mean, I was in love with Tavondre Sweat last year. Just the big body guys that can move for their size, and they can do more than just stop the run. And Kenneth Grant is even, better of that type of player. So I'm a huge fan. Darian Porter, I think is more of a third rounder, and it's same with Jack Sawyer, but they're pretty close here. Pick 24 and pick 30 in the second round. Porter's tricky because he couldn't get on the field until this year, and teams barely threw at him, which is good because they feared him, I guess, but you just don't have a lot to go off of. He is lengthy and has some speed, but I think both those guys might be being overrated a little bit, but I mean, they're probably early third round picks. Panthers, Mason Graham kind of falls in their lap. Kevin Winston Jr., so that'll be a pretty good outing there. Would they take Graham since they added Tershawn Wharton? They have Derek Brown. They could add Graham with that. It's kind of just a question that I have. Bears I kind of like what the Bears did here. A lot of moving around. I mean, I'm high on Hampton. I'm high on Simmons, and Alexander is, because his age, he's probably a later second round pick, but the talent says, right around there, maybe even earlier than that. So the Bears get a lot better with this. Whether you don't like them moving around like this or not, they get a lot better with this. They get 3 starters, really. Bengals, Walter Nolan, Xavier Watts, big fan of Nolan. They had to trade up to get him, but Watts, big fan of Watts as well. Good fit with Al Golden's defense, so that's pretty good. Everyone's doing good. Everyone did good. Hunter and then Banks have a sneaky need for the Browns, looking out for the future tackle or guard. Scorton could start alongside Myles Garrett, a lot of upside, only 20 years old. Everyone's doing good. Cowboys. I mean, that Burden feels a little early just because he's not being mocked there, but I mean, this is a talented athlete that has a lot of upside, and Missouri just could not get the ball downfield, and that's not his fault, so they had to come up with gadget plays. So I think he could be even better with an NFL quarterback, especially like Dak Prescott. And Amos is a really good value pick in the second round. Broncos didn't make a first-round pick, but they trade back to get the guy that people are mocking them in the first round. So that's pretty damn good. Wait, did I skip a team? No. Lions, Ezraku. Yeah, I was wondering if they would actually take Ezraku because his lack of power, but he gets to the quarterback so many different ways. So maybe Gray Zabel, again, could plug him in at guard right away, and he can fill in at different spots if someone's hurt. Tyleik Williams, another defensive tackle that could stop the run. They value that. Packers, Golden and Jackson. That's a pretty good outing there. Everyone did good. It's kind of showing this draft class is better than expected. Donovan Jackson for the Texans. A big fan of Donovan Jackson. He's my number 1 guard in the class. He also could play tackle. This was a bot for the Colts, so who cares? Jags, Genty, which is a wild card pick, but you get one of the top players in the draft, and they got Loveland all the way down at 29, so you get some serious offensive talent here. Chiefs, Blake was picking for the Chiefs. He meant to do Calvin Banks, so tough to go off this one right now. They wouldn't take Will Johnson, I don't think, because the lack of press ability. Uman Mielen would fit there in the late second round. Chargers, James Pierce, you don't see that mocked ever, but I would like it. I think he'd be very productive for the Chargers. Off the edge, I'm a fan of Pierce. Harold Fannin, I think, would be productive for them as well. I don't know if they would go with that type of tight end. Maybe. Rams, a little bit out there of a pick. I don't know if they're going to take a safety. They like kind of their underrated, under the radar safeties that, that aren't, Quentin Lake's a beast, and I mean, he's a safety and he plays in the slot as well, obviously, but so would they take a safety? But you got a freaky one here that can do different things. He can play in the slot for you, can play safety, strong, free. I wouldn't put it past Emmanuel to play corner. Milroe, I wouldn't love that. I think Milroe's more of a third round guy, even though he could go earlier than that. Raiders, McMillan, I don't think they do that. But I mean, it gives them a boost at the receiver position, obviously, and Judkins to fit Chip Kelly's offense. So get a lot better on offense. Dolphins, Mike Green and Savai Naya. They get some talented players there. I would love the Savai Naya one, especially. Vikings, I did that. It was just too good to pass on. I think Revel's a first round talent. He just has injury concerns, so that could push him in the second. Patriots, it'd be great to get Carter at 4. It's not supposed to be possible, but I guess it could be. Josh Connerly in the second round, and this is a really good outing for Stewart in the Patriots. This is, if the Patriots if we got through day 2 and their draft was Abdul Carter, Josh Connerly, and Jaden Higgins, without trading too much away, right? They traded. I don't think they would trade that first round, but it would be something. It would be something. Saints. Yeah, it's a pretty good outing, realistic outing. If Campbell gets by the Patriots, then he definitely could be there for the Saints, and that fills a huge need, whether he's playing, probably play guard for them, but whether he's playing guard or tackle. And then I think Dart is the best quarterback fit for Kellen Moore. I do grade him as a second-round guy, but if you trade up the 24th pick to get the fifth-year option, sure. Giants. I wouldn't love Shador at 3. I think he'd play fairly well. It's debatable because no one plays well for the Giants right now, and they kept their coaching staff, but especially quarterbacks. But I mean, they're bringing in more talent. He has neighbors. He's an accurate quarterback. He'd probably play well, but I just wouldn't love that pick there at 3, but it could happen. Maxwell Harrison and Tui Maloa are great picks in the second round for sure. So at the end of the day, the Giants get a lot better. Jets, Membu, which is commonly mocked, that would make them better at right tackle. Azareye'h Thomas would fit as a man coverage corner in Steve Wilks' man scheme, when Aaron Glenn's a man guy as well. Steve Wilks hasn't always run heavy man, though, so could they surprise and go zone? We'll see. I'm expecting a bit of man coverage. Eagles, Derek Harmon, an A++ steal. I don't love the Charles Grant one there, but Derek Harmon, one of the biggest steals of this mock that you guys did. Steelers trade up and take Jahdae Barron. Yeah, you don't love trading up, but Jahdae Barron is a very solid corner that gives you value by playing outside and in, not one or the other. He can do both. Seahawks, Jihad Campbell's a bot. Niners, Shamar Stewart and Ariante Ursary. Yeah, that's a good draft. I like Stewart more than most people. He would work out in that scheme, I would think, under Robert Saleh, Opston, and Nick Bosa. And Ursary seems like a really good fit, like a physical enough, but he's got reps in outside zone. They would have to move him to right while Trent Williams stays at left, but he could be the future left tackle because Trent Williams is probably not going to last that much longer. Buccaneers, Jalen Walker. Honestly, on my board, this is Jalen Walker's range, but he's not supposed to be here, and that would be a really good fit in Todd Bowles' defense where he could play off the edge and help them. He can play linebacker and help them. They blitz a lot in Todd Bowles' defense. He can help them there. He could be a blitzer, or he can feast off the blitz by playing off the edge. And then Parrish, I'm a fan of as well. He's 5'9", but man, he plays like he's a lot bigger. I think he's a second-round pick. I think he should be a second-round pick. I don't think he's going to go in a second round, but I would like it. Titans went Cam Ward and Kyle Williams. Very realistic. Makes them a lot better. I think about Cam Ward, too. Like, he has his flaws. He only has 1 year playing as this top guy. He plays a lot of hero ball. He needs to have time. Needs to have a good offensive line. Titans did make their offensive line better. But other than the arm talent, the flick of the wrist, how the ball comes out of the hand, the high velocity, the throws in traffic, the arm strength, but forget all that. The number one thing that I keep telling myself with Cam Ward, this dude gives your team life. He elevates your team. Did it with every team he was on. Miami was almost dysfunctional. Like for Miami, what they're supposed to be. He comes in instantly. They are a problem. They lost some games. It was at the end, but it ended up being because of defense. But that, something you just can't coach. You either got it or you don't at the quarterback position. So that makes me want to move Cam Ward up my board, even though he's already in the top 10. Emeka Egbuka for the Commanders and Caleb Johnson. That makes the offense even better. Imagine that offense. The problem with that is, though, the defense looks brutal right now. During this offseason, they made the offense better, but they made the defense worse, you could argue. They so badly need edge rushers. I think they can get better in the interior, honestly. Not that they need that. Could get a better corner. Definitely safety. They lost Chin when they get Will Harris. So the defense would be brutal. They would give up a lot of points with this, but the offense would be pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. That receiver unit, Caleb Johnson would be awesome. Would be their best back, in my opinion. Even though I like Brian Johnson Jr., even though he's underwhelming last year. So everyone did pretty damn good there with their drafts. I thought it was kind of unique at the same time. Okay, before I sign off, any more questions in the chat? We're going to do this again. I'll stream this weekend again, and we'll do multiple. This was the first stream that we did since the draft last year. We got to do way more streams. We're going to do more in the offseason just to kind of catch up, talk with everyone. But we're going to do another stream, be a little more organized. We'll do multiple of these mocks. You guys can join. It's Walk the Mock that we're using. If you sign up, I think you can do a free trial. If you sign up, you can use code GO. End up being $4, someone said. So, did I not do the Dolphins? I did the Dolphins. Yeah, Mike Green and Jonas Savaiinaea. I said I like the Savaiinaea pick because he could start at tackle or guard for them. Just a fan of his game, kind of a dog. Mike Green, him and Chop Robinson, like undersized but super athletic pass rushers for the future there. Be pretty solid. Yeah, the Rams have Cam Kinchens at safety as well. Yeah, Luther Burden. Yeah, he could end up being way better than kind of what we thought of him in 2023. Like Missouri, Brady Cook looked solid in 2023. Even the bowl game that Missouri played against Ohio State, I'm like, that's one to watch. Not as a future first-round pick, but mid-round guy. But I thought he was bad this year, and he was dealing with injuries. And then Drew Pine came in, and Drew Pine is pretty bad. He's pretty bad. So it was hard to get Burden the ball. I've seen tape of him just running downfield with his hands up in the air like this, wide open. No one sees him. They kind of just insisted on dumping the ball underneath. So I could see Burden end up being a lot better than where he is being mocked right now. I guess the issue teams will have is like, is he strictly a slot because he played like 38 snaps outside? Can he play outside? I'm sure he can, but I appreciate you. Don't call it Goat House for no reason. I'm the best. You're the best. Appreciate you, Sky. A great unexpected stream. Yeah, I planned on doing one. I'm just working on so much stuff. I'm like, you know what? It's in the back of my mind. Let's do it. I'm going to do another one this weekend. It's a lot of fun. It's just, I don't know. Always streaming for the first time in a while is always like a little bit. I'm a little unorganized at first. We're gonna get. We got it. We're good. I lost my train of thought there for a second. Hopefully, I didn't miss any questions. Inside the draft. Yeah. Just like talking draft, like talking any of the prospects, the intriguing prospects that we hit on. We're gonna do more of these though. Yeah, I wish I had more of a plan. Either tomorrow or Sunday, maybe both, probably not, but maybe. We're trying to do more of these. I know a lot of you signed up for Walk the Mock. I'll have our Twitter subscribers get to pick their teams first. So before I stream, I'll tweet it out. Let's fill this lobby. Then I'll jump on the stream. I'll post it in the chat. Trying to do more for Twitter subscribers, trying to catch up on a lot of stuff there. But, yeah, we got a lot more stuff to do before the draft. We're going to get there. But, yeah. I think, yeah, I think I mentioned Drew Pine every time I talk about Luther Burden. I'm a diehard Notre Dame fan, so Drew Pine was with us, and his stats actually looked pretty good, but he was not good. It wasn't. I mean, he was the best of the bunch at that time, but then at the end of the year, Notre Dame's like, we need someone better. Pine, you transfer. We're not going to start you. And then he transferred to Arizona State. I remember the Arizona State crowd was so jacked up when they got Drew Pine. I think they just went and looked at his stats, and they know that he played at Notre Dame. They're like, oh, my God. And I think he got banged up and was benched for good after like week 1 or 2, something like that. Or he wasn't ready for week 1. Then he ended up going to Missouri just to be a backup because that's what he is, a backup. And then Brady Cook got banged up. And, oh, God, and Missouri. Because Missouri, man, they were good in 2023. They were, when Cook was healthy and they had them, they had a lot of good defensive players, though. Who'd they have? They had Darius Robinson. They had... Ennis Rakestraw, Jalen Carlisle's, right, if I'm not mistaken, and who else they have in that? Yeah, they had a really good defense. And they had talent. You know, they still got guys in this draft, you know, Membo at the top, but, you know, so it was unfortunate that Brady Cook was banged up and not himself when he did play, but when stream sucks, couldn't pick for the Bears. Yeah, he did. Who picked for the Bears did pretty well. And we're gonna do it again. We'll do more of these this weekend. I'll try to keep you. It's very important to follow us on X/Twitter because I try to keep you guys up to date on everything. So we will do more of these, multiple in one stream, and then we'll have our day 1 live stream, which can be a little tricky, but we're gonna do it because I think we might, some of the guys, or one or both the guys might have to be remote on that. So we got to get it all set up, ready to go. And then we have nonstop content throughout the draft as well. The first night included, but every day. But all right, I keep rambling on. We'll be back. More videos on the way. I don't know what will be next, a video or a stream, but more, all of that is coming. So make sure you turn notifications on. But that is going to do it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Wasn't a video. It was